Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Star's End. What I'm going to be doing today is giving you guys a fairly good overview slash review of the game Star's End. I'm going to talk about how the gameplay is, how it feels, and just what this game is all about. So for those of you guys who don't know, Star's End is a brand new, newly released survival game. You're going to get into the game, it's going to look like this. You can see it's a very new game. There's not many servers up right now. There's only 4 that I could find. So it is brand new. You're also going to find the character creation and a lot of the things that you'd expect a game to have in 2020 are not quite there yet. This game is extremely alpha, so if you do not have any tolerance for bugs or character creation that's been thrown together so that the developers can get to the main meat of the game, this game might not yet be for you. If you can make it past character creation, you're going to find a sort of interesting collection of characters that are going to meet you in the prologue. They seem a bit Western, they're a bit Texas, yet this is taking part in a sci-fi universe, a futuristic universe. You're in a solar system called Star's End, you're exploring a mothership, you're digging through containers, finding cool gear, but yet you're still going out with a shovel, a pickaxe, and a hatchet to cut down trees. It's a weird mix between a game like Star Citizen and a game like Rust. You've got that survival element, you've got that element of primitive combat and primitive building, but yet at the same time, you've got spaceships flying across the galaxy and you're going from planet to planet, exploring and finding the best place to locate your base. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a survival game. You're going to be fighting other creatures and everything like that, but it also is a exploration game. You're going to be going all over, and the universe in this game seems massive. When I was playing, I did not meet any other players online, but it looks like servers can supposedly hold hundreds of players, and the universe is going to be vast. Across this universe, you've got a myriad sort of collection of vehicles, horses, animals, and spaceships that you can use to get around. During my playthrough of this game, I was able to use a horse to run from one point to another, and a starship to transport myself across the galaxy, basically from the main ship that I spawned on, past one planet to another. So yeah, that's right, you're going to be going between planets and everything like that, which is very cool. The depth and size of this game seems to be massive. It's like an MMO, but it's a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more community focused. And what I can see in the future is if this game continues development and goes where I think the developers want it to go, you're going to get this vast array of communities working together to build towns, fight off other towns, and maybe even planets fighting planets. There is a lot of potential here. You can also see while you're running across the landscape, there's some players very dedicated to making some intense bases. Over here to your left, you can see a player-made base that is pretty spectacular. I was a big fan of that one. But yeah, it definitely has a building component to it too. Here you go, this is a little bit of starship footage. You can see me flying between planets, going from sort of that first person mode to third person. You're going to notice as you jump between the modes, the music gets louder and softer. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it's an interesting little addition to it. But yeah, you're going to use starships to just go across the galaxy and explore the unexplored and get together with hopefully a lot of friends and clanmates to attack other planets, wage war against neighboring towns, and just see if you can conquer the universe of Star's End. You've been strewn, left behind by Earth on this galaxy or in this solar system, and it is up to you to make it your own. I really do love the possibilities here, and I love sort of where I can see the developers taking this, assuming this is where they're going to take it. Now, the reality of the game versus the future reality, there are some things that, you know, are still not quite there yet. So one of those things would be combat. Full disclosure, this is sort of the only combat experience I had, but it was very sort of janky. I've got a bow and arrow, I'm shooting at aliens, it just doesn't quite feel like I'd expect it to feel. The bow is very weird, it's very rigid, it just doesn't feel right. The way that you're looting these monsters, it works, but it's not amazing. And just like, it just feels so weird, it just doesn't feel natural, and it was not what I like. I did not get a chance to try out PvP, I didn't try out sort of many weapons, right? I did try out the hatchet, hitting it into trees and stuff like that, and it just didn't quite feel like I'd expect it to feel. You can see here I'm taking aim with the bow. It's falling a little bit short, which is what you'd expect. So there's that element of gravity, but just the way the monsters move, the way everything works, it just feels very rigid. It doesn't feel right, and the bow and sort of the combat just doesn't feel fluid. I wasn't a fan of this, and I can tell you this is probably one of those systems that they're still working on. So full disclosure here, like, this is probably something that's going to be improved in the coming months. So if you're watching this video and it's 6 months down the road, maybe it's worth just asking or looking into it and seeing some more recent footage. I know that's rare, but I'm actually someone who's going to tell you, go watch other people's videos, because maybe they're playing this game now and it's a whole different experience from what I had. But yeah, I didn't run into any PvP, and it seemed like animals, as far as how they were scattered throughout the universe, this was the only time I actually got into any other PvP action. The other thing I noticed is I had issues with my claim. So you lay down a claim to claim some territory, and then you can build on it. I decided to put down a box and dump some resources in this box. Unfortunately, after a couple minutes, that box disappeared along with my hard-earned resources. It made a playthrough that should have taken about an hour and a half take 2.5 hours. That was definitely disappointing, and resource collection in this game is not really that interesting. It's like Rust, right? You're just banging away on various nodes trying to gather resources. Here you go, you've got me gathering metal, and later on you're probably going to see me gathering some wood and searching through scrap. But the fact that there's no PvP, there's no characters, there's no monsters, there's nothing to really worry about, a lot of the tension that you usually have when you're playing a survival game just isn't there. It feels like I'm running around gathering materials that just aren't really that useful, right? The base that I'm building isn't going to defend me from anything because I didn't run into any monsters. And from what I could see, players aren't really attacking bases because it doesn't seem like the game is to that level yet. Of course, building games are fun and it's cool to explore the universe. It's just not quite the game that you'd want to be building these massive bases that you can defend, because there really isn't anyone to defend against yet. Again, this is a very early game, so I'm assuming all this is going to come later. And here you can see I'm exploring sort of a AI, or I'm not sure if this was created by the devs, or if this was created like sort of through a world builder, but this is a sort of little cabin area that I'm exploring right now. I'm desperately searching for water, so that does exist in this game. There is a sense of you need to get a certain amount of sleep, a certain amount of food, a certain amount of water. You need to maintain your character's temperature and all things like that. You can see down in the bottom right-hand corner, you've got all those monitors right there, and my character is desperately in need of water. Unfortunately, you cannot drink from the bathroom sink, which was definitely a disappointment to me. I wish that was a possibility. I even tried to drink out of the toilet, and that was not possible either. Again, a lot of these things are probably going to be added later, but for a survival game to have this element where you can actually starve or die of thirst in the middle of a river just feels unnatural and weird. And here you can see another one of the unnatural and weird bugs here. You've got an alien popping in through the floors. I went down to sort of the bottom of this basement, and I could not find that monster. That was the only monster I saw wandering around the world, and it was glitching, but still able to attack me, which was definitely not the best. But yeah, overall, right, as much as it sounds like I might be bashing this game, I really did like the game. I love the potential of it. I love the fact that they've created this immense world that you can explore and create, and that you can actually sit down and create your own buildings. I can see a huge amount of potential here, and the sleeping animations are just amazingly well done. Actually, they're not. You can see me sleeping on a sleeping bag right here. But yeah, like, the world building potential here, the fact that you can build your own like sheds and everything like that, and you can build your own base, and then you can go out and explore all these different planets and really just fly between worlds and create towns with other players and form your own thing, is something I really like. It's something that I really appreciate in a game, and I think in the future, this might be a game that can give that to me. So I'm super excited for the future of Star's End. It's just, right now, is it worth $20? I don't know. It depends. For me, it is, because a game like this, I want to support it. I want to see this game grow. I want to see this game do good. And for what it's worth, for 3 guys to build something like this, and I think it's like 3 to 10 people working on this thing, It's amazing. They've done a really good job of it. And if you guys are listening right now, keep it up. You guys are doing an awesome job with this game. And I really look forward to seeing what you come up with in the future. If you're someone looking and thinking, should I spend my $20 on this? If you want to support an amazing game and some great devs, definitely. If you're short on money and you're wondering, is this the game I should buy to last me the next 2 years? Maybe wait a little bit and buy the game later. Just keep an eye on it because this is a game to watch in 2020 and beyond. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was interesting. And that's all I've got for now. So until next time, peace.